Dan, it's great to have you back with us. And Mary, your precious wife, who was busy taking care of you, so good to have you back. And Dan had a real miracle take place in his life. He was as good as gone. And he's going to write a little article for the Word, which will be coming out. It should be out next week by the time you get here, our newsletter for the month of November. Well, we asked you to bring some friends this morning, and I want to start by...
Before you get going on that, we have a few things we'd like to say.
Uh-oh.
And then you can talk about our friends that are here. You may not know this, but pastors throughout the country are being recognized during the month of October. So we didn't want to be any different than that. So this month we are recognizing our pastor. And would the pastor's wife please come up here, because we have a team. And the first part on our agenda this is going to be a small program, a very short program, so don't anybody get all complicated about this. But the first thing that we wanted to do is Kathleen is going to come up here, and she's going to share with us how the deaf decided to make First Baptist of Oxford their church home. Okay?
Can you hear me?
Tap it, see if it's on.
Okay, can you hear me? All right, we got it. Okay, I want to thank Chuck and Sally for inviting me to come and speak today. They've organized the program to recognize our pastor and his wife too, because she's part of the team. But anyway, I wanted to just answer the question that everyone's been asking. How did we decide to join First Baptist of Oxford? Well, first we've been going to another church, and we've been going there for a while, but it just didn't seem right. There were a lot of negatives, a few positives, but more negatives, and we were just struggling a lot. And we decided, Doris, she's another member here at the church, but she's not here today. But anyway, Doris and I decided, we left the church, and we talked, and we asked Patty if she would mind coming with us to help find a different church. She could be our interpreter, because we needed to find a church home. And Patty was thrilled to do that. She wanted to, but I hadn't been interpreting that long, so I'm not really sure I could be the main interpreter. But we told her that it'd be okay. She would learn, and we would help, and she would improve, and everything would be okay. So Doris and I were so relieved. We had an interpreter, and now we just needed to find a church. So we went around, and at that time we didn't have an interpreter with us. It was just me and Doris, and we went in to different churches, and we went in here, we saw the secretary sitting down there, and we asked her a bunch of questions. And it was funny, I just found out recently that the secretary thought that I was the interpreter and Doris was the deaf person, because I can talk. And so Doris was doing all the signing, and so she said that I grilled her, but I was just really trying to understand what she was saying, so I kept asking her again and again, and I really didn't mean to do that. But anyway, we did. We asked quite a few questions, and then we said we need to come back later, and we went outside, and we ran into this man, this man dressed in a suit and everything, and he came over and started talking to us, and he got so excited, his eyes got real big and all happy and everything, and so we started talking, and it was hard the communication was difficult, so I told him that we would come back again with an interpreter, and so he was happy, and he said, okay, that sounded great. So then we were talking to some other deaf, we talked to Sam Young, and he said, wait, there was another church that I heard about that I want to try that church too. And out of respect for him, he's kind of the patriarch of our group, and out of respect for him, we wanted to try his church that he had found as well. So the four of us, me and Doris, Sam and Patty, we all went to this other church, and we spoke to the pastor, and to our surprise, that pastor was familiar with deaf people. They were supporting one missionary that was writing for the Silent Word deaf newspaper. And so we felt, oh, this might be really good because they're familiar with deaf people. So we went in and talked to him, and he said, sure, go to the service, and we did, and the people were so friendly, they were so nice, but it just didn't feel like the right fit. And so the four of us, we discussed it again, and so, let's go back to Oxford. Remember we met that pastor, we talked to the secretary, we grilled the secretary, and we really should go back there. So we set up a time to talk to the pastor in the middle of the week. And we went into one of the small Bible study rooms over in the fellowship hall over there. And the four of us went in there and we're discussing. The first question we asked Pastor was if he knew anything about deaf people. And he was like, no, but I am willing to learn. You teach me and I'll learn. And he just seemed so excited that we got excited about that too. And so then we said we needed to know more about what it would be like in the sanctuary. So we decided to just go over into the sanctuary. So we came in here and we asked the pastor, where would the interpreter be able to stand? And he was like, it doesn't matter, wherever she wants to, that's fine with me. We were shocked. That really impressed us, just touched our hearts. That is just so important to the deaf, where the interpreter stands. It is just really important. And it was wonderful. And so we knew at that point that this is going to be our church home. It was just wonderful. And when we met, when we came for the first Sunday and met everybody here, that confirmed everything. It's just been wonderful. People came up and they met us, they wanted to shake our hand. That really impressed us too. So it just confirmed everything we thought after meeting Pastor and then coming here. And we just love you so much. Thank you so much.
I forgot. Thank you, Kathleen. I just want to elaborate a minute on Kathleen and Doris grilling of our past secretary, Ann. I found out in my meeting with Kathleen, that the grilling was because they couldn't understand Ann, who has a super huge Southern drawl. That's the big reason they couldn't understand her, not because she's hard to deal with, okay? The next part of our program is very short. Sally was very kind to work diligently with Pastor's wife, Ann, to pull some pictures from the past to put together a little remembrance, which you will now see. right at the end, I'd like to call Wyneen up just to finish us off here.
See if they can help me. And so you know, when I stand on this platform, it's something very important. Because you don't see me up here very often. Your church family has worked so hard over the past few years. You remember we paid off the Collier property, and we almost finished getting an associate pastor. So, you know, our pockets got pretty empty. But, you know, we couldn't help it. We had to dig a little bit deeper. And guess what? We found a few more dollars. And we wanted to share them with you to show our love and our appreciation to both of you over the years and what you've meant to us. So thank you.
Thank you so much. What I really want to hug. Wow, that's fantastic. You're a great bunch of people, and I like praising you individually and as a group. I gotta tell you, I'm awkward when it comes to receiving. It makes me feel very, very awkward, very humble, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you've done. And the little picture tribute, that was pretty neat. I think I have some announcements to make. Thank you all so very, very much. Yes, we didn't have a, you can hear me?
No.
No wonder. I didn't have enough. We announced last week, we didn't do a promotion. We didn't do a whole lot of it. We just made an announcement in the service last Sunday morning. Bring a friend. Bring a friend today. And so there was really no promotion at all, but we just said bring a friend. And I know some of you have. I don't know how many, but I know that some of have. And I got thinking, hey, if I'm asking people to bring a friend, and I'm the pastor of the church, what's it going to look like if I don't bring a friend? So I called a very special friend, and I asked her if she would come today. She drove down from Ocala. Her name is Susan Cook. Her husband Bruce had to work today. Her husband Bruce and myself were colleagues at Florida Bible College in Miami back in the 60s and early 70s. And Suzanne, I don't want to embarrass you, but would you stand just so folks could see you? God bless you. Now, Paul, I'm going to need your help, if you would. We're going to start with this team over here. Let's see, your name was the Blue Jays, right? If you're a Blue Jay and you brought a visitor, I'm going to ask you to stand in a moment. But now, I don't want to embarrass your visitor, so you don't have to have your visitor stand. But if you brought a visitor, would you stand? And we're going to find out if the Blue Jays brought more visitors or the Cardinals brought more visitors. Okay, stand if you brought a visitor.
I'm standing.
Okay, Patty is standing. Let's see how many visitors Patty brought.
I brought two.
2 visitors.
Okay, I brought Jackie Day,
Yeah.
a very good friend of mine, and Karen Brake is sitting there in the middle.
Wonderful. Any others on the Blue Jays? Okay, we go, oh, we got another one?
I don't consider Loretta as a permanent visitor, but she's asked to come. And
She hasn't been here in a few weeks, she counts as a visitor. Yes. Hi, Loretta, good to see you. Yes. Okay, now we're going over here to the other bird team, the Cardinals. How about the Cardinals? Anybody on this side bring a visitor? Here we go. Jack and Cindy.
I'm standing.
Oh, we'll get to it.
We brought 3 of our dear friends with us.
3.
3 of our dear friends, Irvin, Deb,
Good. Deb,
Diane,
Diane.
Cindy, Larry, and Jerry.
Welcome. That's 3. Yeah. And Zelda is standing.
I am standing. Our son Lloyd, this is my middle baby, he said, "Don't you dare, Mom."
Hi, Lloyd.
He comes to visit with us when he's here. He'll be leaving us this week. He works in the Everglades. But when he's back, he will be in church.
Great.
He loves this church.
Well, we love you, Lloyd. It's great to have. Always good to see
And
you.
I love having him here.
Amen. Any others? Last time. Okay. That's good. Thank you for your effort. 7 visitors, 3 Blue Jays, 4 Cardinals. Now, you know, I got thinking about something, and this came late in the week, but I got thinking, you know what we need? We come to church because Christians need food, spiritual food, and here it is, the Word of God. When you come to this church, you get spiritual food. And I got thinking about our 2 bird teams. Birds need something too. They need bird food. So for our winning team, we've got bird food. Just fun. It's who says Christians don't ever have any fun? On our Great Commission project, we're getting very close. You see, we only lack about $12,000, and we've got 3 weeks. We got 3 weeks to ask God to bring the total amount in that we need. We set a goal of asking God to give us all that we need for that associate pastor fund. We're calling it the Great Commission Project. And you've done so well. My heart has been touched every single week as I've watched the gifts come in. And I've watched people give sacrificial gifts in this tough economy that we're in. And it's happened over and over and over again. And my heart's just overwhelmed with how our people have responded. So you say, Pastor, are you sure we're going to make it in 3 weeks? No, I'm not sure at all. I think we are. I think God's going to honor that. We're praying every day for Him to honor that. But it's in His time, and it's just been amazing to watch it. I'm praying, and I believe it's going to happen. But if it doesn't, we're going to be a whole lot closer than we were before we started this. I want to take a minute and explain this to you. We've started a project called the Great Commission Project. We needed $50,000 to have in reserve so we could hire another full-time minister to put on our staff. A minister who would work with young families and youth and help us also build a strong Sunday school. Oh, there's a great need in our church for young families and youth in a Sunday school. And we're getting close, folks. It's going to really change the momentum of our church when that happens. And so we've introduced the Great Commission Project. This is a rough idea of what that plaque will look like. It'll hang proudly on our office wall in the church office. And it'll say the Great Commission Project. It'll be a very high gloss metallic plaque. You'll be proud to show it to your friends when they visit here at church. There will be an image of a family holding hands as they're walking as if to someplace special. And then there's the Great Commission right below it. Go ye into all the world. My battery must be dead. I gotta blame it on Satan. He hates the Great Commission.
That's okay, we ate in too.
So, the Great Commission is here, and then it says in memory of, or in honor of. In other words, a person can honor or give a gift in memory of, and your loved one's name would be on the plaque when we finish the project. If you need more information, there are packets of information on the table in the back as you leave this morning. We would ask you, every one of you, including our visitors, to pray on a regular basis for us as we launch out into the mission field that we live in right here. You know, I served as a missionary one time. Excuse me, George?
Yeah, in honor of, what, that somebody in the church or?
Anybody that you feel like is worthy of honoring. Yeah. Yep, that's what that means. I served as a missionary under Baptist Missions early on, Ann and I did. And they gave us a little thing to put up above our door as we left the house. And it said this: you are now entering the mission field. That's true, isn't it?
Amen.
That is so very right on. So we believe that God has given us a mission field right here in Sumter County and the surrounding area, and we certainly want to be able to reach more people for Christ in these days.